Read between the lines. Was Cam Newton's MVP season a fluke?
No, because he did it, and he's capable of doing it again. That's not a prediction that he will do it again, because I don't think he will. I think that his other 5 seasons are probably more indicative of who he is, but his ceiling is high enough that for a 16-game stretch, he can be the most dominant player in the league. But his basement is low enough that he could wallow where he's at for the next 5 seasons.
6 years in, completes about 58% of his throws, 88 quarterback rating, doesn't even have a 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Let's stop making excuses. He's a star. He's not a star quarterback. Not a great quarterback.
I think you're right with that. I think he's a star, not a star quarterback. And I think completion percentage, you have to throw it out the window. Okay. Look, we all enjoyed Thanksgiving dinner. Sam Bradford, what was he, like 80% completion percentage? Okay? He couldn't get 100 yards of offense. I mean, completion percentage for Cam doesn't exist. He needs to make the plays down the field and minimize his mistakes. I think there's a different standard when evaluating him in terms of the way he can make big plays and the way he can move an offense. And you've got to build your team around him. You know, quarterbacks are like stadiums in baseball. You've got to build your team around Cam. Cam's team right now isn't very good. The line struggles.
I want to throw both of you guys a little more red meat here. Ron Rivera. The other thing, on Cam Newton needs a new head coach. I don't like Ron Rivera. I didn't like going for 2 early in the game and this decision to punt. Ron Rivera is part of Cam's problem.
Well, he's a defensive-minded coach, and we are in an era, as you see Adam Gase, where the GMs that go with the offensive guys, it does pay off. I think that's a reasonable criticism. I've never thought he's a great coach. Right. But I got to be honest with you, I was always hot and cold on Gary Kubiak, and he's done a pretty good job.
Yeah, I think sometimes Ron's not watching the same game. Like that decision to punt the ball at 4th and 1. Oh. His defense isn't playing any good. And I think sometimes defensive coaches think they're this eternal optimist. They think, well, we're just going to stop them. No, you haven't stopped them the whole game. Quit playing it that way. You've got to kind of change a little bit. And I don't think Ron has – I think the defense has set the tone there. When the defense isn't good, it really affects Ron.
Did he not trust Cam? I mean, Cam's rushing for the fewest yards in his career. Fewest passes of over 40 yards down the field?
I think he's playing field position and he's playing conventional football, which to me is the worst thing you can do.
You watch all these young quarterbacks, Dak and Cousins and Mariota and Derek Carr. I think less of Cam. I'm 6 years in. If you were a corner and you had an MVP season and you followed it up getting smoked down the sideline, you'd be like, it's an aberration. Can I make the argument that Cam's a little Derrick Rose? That 1 year was a... What, am I nuts? Am I crazy?
No,
they played in the Super Bowl and had a chance to win.
Derrick Rose would have been in the finals if not for a guy named LeBron.
I do think this. I think he struggles to handle success. I think this is a humbling year for him, and we'll see how he handles it.